Hey everybody, Joey Liso here. Today I wanted to do something different. I wanted to talk about a topic I don't really see a lot of, and that topic is internet hospitality. See, the internet is a invisible space that is housed somewhere in servers. It's data, it's bits of information that exist in a cloud somewhere. It's literally nowhere. It's on a disk or a chip somewhere. So whenever we step into the realm of the internet, we're really stepping into something that is not physical. Even though we can interact with it, even though when we open our computers or we look on our mobile phones, we can see the internet. Obviously, we're using the internet to stream this information, or we're Googling something. But a funny thing is, since the internet has come out, there's a lot of questions about how we should be operating on the internet that aren't answered simply because we have not asked these questions yet. One of those questions is, how should we be treating each other? Let's say if I went onto your website, your personal website, and used everything in my power to bring it down. I'm just going to bring down your website. I'm gonna disrespect it. I'm gonna say it's a piece of crap website. It's no good. Imagine if you came into someone's home and you told the owner of the house, your house sucks. It's no good. I don't even know why you live here. I don't even know why you thought of buying a house in the first place. It sort of brings it a little closer to home, doesn't it? It sort of makes you think, maybe I shouldn't tell the owner of this house that I'm in right now that his house is a piece of crap. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Or maybe you should. Maybe you were raised differently than I was. Maybe you've seen a different part of the world, and that's the beauty of our, humanity, is that there's a variety of different ways of doing the same thing. But I know if you ask a bunch of people, anybody randomly, what would you do if you came into someone's house and you've never been there before? They would say, well, I would probably take my shoes off if I saw a bunch of shoes sitting on the side of the door. I would probably greet the people that were in the house. I'd probably knock before I entered, especially if I didn't know who lived there. So these are mannerisms. This is sort of a way of being when it comes to being on the internet. So I want to express gratitude that you have taken the time out of your life, given up precious moments so that we can share that with each other. And I also would like to thank you for taking the time to listen. There are a lot of things going on in the world, but if you are investing in yourself, you recognize that you don't need to pay attention to everything. So one thing that we would like to pay attention to, that will give us the benefit in the long run, moving into the new era, the new world that we're living in, the new earth, we are starting to see the world in a different way. And in order to do that, we're going to have to learn how to interact with each other in different ways. Now with this new medium that's called the internet, we are having difficulties relating with each other because we can't see each other. So there's a lot of nonverbal cues, body language, things of that nature, cultural aspects, the way that people just generally like to carry on with each other that they don't know. There's a lot of these things that we are not having a discussion about. So we really need to look at how we are treating people that we don't know on the internet, because these are people. And as far as you know, they are just like you. Would you treat yourself poorly? Would you? Because if you would, then I can understand why you would treat someone else poorly. But would you treat yourself poorly? I don't think you would. I wouldn't. I don't like to treat myself poorly. And the moment that I recognize that I am, I try to look for a way in which I could start treating myself better. What can I do instead of treating myself poorly? Because I really don't like how I feel when I treat myself poorly, or when I talk to myself negatively, or when I do something to harm myself. Sometimes we do these things to ourselves. Sometimes we know what we're doing and we do it anyway. But what's important here is the awareness, becoming more aware of what we're doing. the more aware that you become, the more that you turn this thing on, this thing in here that is non-physical, this thing in here that gives you life, the thing that in here that is observing what's going on out here, the more that you turn this on and use it, the more that you'll find that when you become more aware of what you do, you realize how much power you have over the situations that are in your life. Why? Why would you have power over situations in your life? Sometimes we feel like we don't have power. But where does your power stem from? It's not from controlling circumstances, but your decision making. What are you choosing to do? And awareness helps us understand that we always have a choice. We always have a choice when it comes to the things that we say, the things that we think, feel, do, how we treat each other, and so on. So internet hospitality. How would you want someone to come into your home? Would you want them to start breaking things? Would you want them to start disrespecting you? Or to start pulling things off the wall? And no, I wouldn't want that. I know I wouldn't want that if I was in my home and I invited someone in. I would not want them to act this way. So how would I want them to act this way? Now that I know that I don't want them to act those ways. Well, a very simple way of looking at it is, how would you come into your own home? How would you treat yourself? How would you treat the owner of your home if you were the one that was coming into your home? You would lightly or, firmly rap on the door to see if someone was home. Maybe not too loud, not to make it, disrespectful. See, because this is the same thing as when you talk to yourself. When you're talking to yourself, you are knocking on the door of your house. Now, I want to link internet hospitality with our relationship with ourselves, because the database that stores our consciousness is nowhere present in this world. But somehow we are aware that we are what we are. We are aware of being aware, if that's trippy or deep enough to think about. Now think about where you came from. You know that you came from your parents, and they came from their parents, and they came from their parents, and on and on and on. And we can really take it all the way back to the start. But I'm talking about where you, your unique you, individually came from. If you can isolate that, you'll find that it's found nowhere in the body, nor is there any record of it anywhere in the world. And I'm not talking about a birth certificate. I'm talking about the thing that makes you you. There's no record of it. There's no way to physically write it down. You can write down physical characteristics, you can write down things about yourself, but you cannot isolate the thing that you are, that one unknown variable, that unapproachable light that you are. Your consciousness is like the internet. So, if the internet is like our consciousness, then when we approach someone else's home on the internet, which could be a website, it could be a social media account, it could be any account, it could be any interaction in which you and I are now having this parlay, where we're starting to talk. Your body is your website. And when you talk to yourself in here and you feel these things, you are leaving comments and you're liking and disliking your own body. And the thing that you're using to do it is your consciousness. If you can make the distinction between the internet and a website, you know that the website is in the internet, but you know that the website isn't the internet. You can make the same link between the body and the consciousness that houses it, or that the body and the consciousness that dwells within it. If you can make this distinction, knowing that they are united by some invisible cord, there's something that is animating us that we really can't pinpoint. You can take off all the pieces of the body. You can take off my hands and my feet and my head and you can take off every single individual organ, but you will not find me. You will just find an individual pieces of a man. But that man is not Joey. What makes Joey was not in the body. Yes, Joey is the body, but what makes Joey is not in the body. You feel what I'm saying? The body merely used it. So all of these things are tying into how we are going to treat ourselves in relation to how we are treating each other on this medium that we really are starting to get a handle of it now, little by little. And we're still learning every day new things, new qualities, new abilities with the internet, and likewise with our consciousness. So again, I would say, how would you treat someone coming into their home? How would you want them to treat you coming into your home? Make this connection. How would you treat yourself if you were someone else? How would you want to be treated by someone else? I'm pretty sure that you wouldn't want to be treated poorly if you had a choice. Sometimes we are treated poorly and we think we don't have a choice. I'm here to tell you that your ability to be aware of the things that you do not like is your sign that you have now become aware of the choice to choose something different. Say, Joey, I'm being treated poorly. I say, what would you like to be treated like? What's the difference? How would it make you feel if you were treated differently right now? Accept that. Say, I am now being treated this way, and this is how I want to be treated. And let it go. You will begin to be treated that way. Not overnight, not in a split second, but you are communicating to your deeper self that now you are no longer going to allow inhospitable people in your life, nor are you going to allow inhospitable behavior in your house. So in the same way that you would not want someone else to treat you poorly, now begin to treat yourself that way. Begin to look at yourself in the way that you would like others to look at you. If you see that others are looking at you in a negative light, begin to hear them say things positively about you. It doesn't matter if you have the physical evidence of what they said. Let's say you were without a car and you heard them telling you or talking about you, saying, oh, there he goes again. He's walking, he's on his feet, he's always bumming a ride from everybody. Hear them saying, wow, did you see his new car? Did you see her new ride? Did you see her new wheels? Man, I wish I had something like that. Man, I wish I could ride in there. You see that switch? Because what happens is you become different when you start hearing different things, and you don't need the physical evidence. Close your eyes and imagine a golf ball. You know that golf ball is not real out here, tangible. But what you do know is that you can see a golf ball in your mind, and your mind doesn't know the difference between a real golf ball and the imaginary one. What does that tell you? It tells you that right now, whatever you are imagining, your brain doesn't know the difference of whether it's real or not. It only knows that you're holding it in your mind. So what I share with you is that in order to receive more hospitable clients, more hospitable customers, more hospitable friendships, more hospitable relationships into your life, you must play that role out in your consciousness. You must play it out in your imagination first and say, I am treated well. I am taken care of. I am a friendly person. Everywhere I go, I am the honored guest. People rejoice when I come into the room. The energy immediately rises when I enter a new space. Everywhere I go is blessed simply because I entered the scene. Is that cocky? No. Is that conceited? No. You are owning your birthright, using your mind in your speech, outwardly, inwardly. You are treating your house, your body, the way that you would want it to be treated, by saying, this body, this house is taken care of. My life is the life that I truly want to live. These are the things that you must begin to tell yourself. And the way that this links back to the internet is that everywhere you go, you are living a little piece of yourself. Everywhere you go, you're living a little piece of yourself. What do you want all the pieces to add up to? A negative blob of nonsense and stupidity? Simply because you weren't a fan of something that you saw? Do you know the impact that a negative comment has in your life? Some people might say, negative comments don't affect me. But for every person that says that, there's someone that it does. So think about this. Think about the impact that you could have by changing that negative comment into constructive criticism, or changing that negative comment into no comment, or better yet, changing that comment where you immediately recoil and want to snap judge something that you saw. You say, you know what? That was pretty cool. You're getting better and better every day. I'm so happy to see your progress. Smiley face. So the internet is a lot like our consciousness, and vice versa. The websites and the accounts that you go to, it's a lot like our body. Treat it the way you would want yours to be treated, and you will begin to see the changes in your life. I promise you. Hey, this is Joey Liso. If you liked the video, please like, comment, share. Let me know what you think down below. If you've got any topics, if you've got any questions, please leave a comment down below and let me know so that I can make a video about it for you. Thank you so much for inviting yourself into my home. Thank you so much for kicking your shoes off and taking a chill pill while you relax and enjoy the video. And I hope to see you soon.